Hello, this is Charles, and this is Chapter 8 of Learning to Fly. Chapter 7 saw Walter engage in some more heroics and stop a carjacking, and we met our antagonist, the ruthless Catherine Mixon. What does she have up her sleeve? We'll find out shortly in Chapter 8, coming soon. Chapter 8. Walter walked in the apartment after making sure nobody saw him and sat down heavily in his recliner. Something smells good. You been cooking, kid? Yep, don't move. Coming right up. A minute later, Franklin came in with a plate full of hamburgers and set it down with a flourish on the coffee table. Dinner is served, he said with an exaggerated bow. You just guessed when I'd be home? Nah, I've been tracking your phone. You can do that? It's not hard. I put an app on there and you can track it with this program on your laptop. I'll put the app on mine too. I'll show you how to do it after we eat. You think it's a good idea? Walter asked between bites. Maybe. I can see where you are and you can see where I am. If there's any trouble. Let's hope there isn't any trouble, but yeah, I can see it. Looks like you had a busy afternoon. Nothing too difficult. Got some guy's car back to him. Had a nice chat. That your phone ringing? Yeah, looks like it. Let it go to voicemail. I'll return the call when I'm done eating. Walter finished another hamburger and said, You know, kid, I like burgers, but we have to work on expanding your culinary talent. You'll have to teach me. Never learned anything growing up. Guess not. About that. How much time did you have in a stable house? Not much. Dad was hardly home, and after he went to prison, well, Mom was always strung out. It was foster homes after Mom died. You know, I thought I had a rough upbringing, but you take the cake. You seen your dad since he got locked up? Got no use for that loser. How many years has it been? Almost 10. You never thought of patching things up? What is there to patch up? Dude left Mom high and dry. What'd he get locked up for? Shot some other dude. Deal gone bad. Well, I don't know. Just seems like maybe. I don't want to see him, okay? I just thought, how about you don't think about that right now? Okay, just trying to help. I don't need no help. Well, you could have fooled me. So, how about your studies? I went through all of it already. One more time on some of the science stuff and I'll be good. You sure? Yeah. Actually, some of it is really interesting. I've been visiting other sites, learning more. Wish I could have paid more attention in school. Tell me about it, kid. So, I'm going to grab some Z's just in case tonight ends up busy. But I want you to think about what I said. You don't want any regrets later. Just trust me on that one. Walter had been snoozing a couple hours when his phone buzzed and woke him. Hello? Walter? This is Larry Wilkins down at District 1. Yeah, you got something? I don't know. Don't even know why I'm calling you. Might be something bad. No information on the fires? Nothing on that yet. Those forensics boys can take some time. It's Hanley. He's missing. Whoa, back up a bit. Who's Hanley? You think you can meet me in person? Don't know about the phones. Sure, like a park or something? Eden Park. I'm right by there. I'm in a cruiser. Okay, I'll find you. 10 seconds later, Wilkins heard a knock on his car window. He unlocked the car and Walter slid in the passenger seat. You got here fast, Wilkins said. Well, I can just about get anywhere fast. And I don't live that far away. Wilkins drove into the park and found a parking spot. I was telling you about Hanley. John Hanley. Goes by JR. Does a lot of undercover work when the need arises. He was on an assignment and missed a couple check-ins. We can't ping his phone either. I don't like it. And you think he's in trouble? Man, I don't know. When you've been on the force as long as I have, sometimes you just have a feeling about something. This doesn't feel right. I'm not sure how I can help. You're all over town, right? Can you keep your eyes open? Maybe if you find a body? Here's what he looks like. Wilkins handed Walter a photo of an average-looking middle-aged man. Doesn't really stand out, Walter said. That's why he was so good at undercover work. He doesn't stand out. Anyway, he was on assignment. We've been trying to piece together evidence of a criminal enterprise operating in the city, but there's not much to go on. Just seems like it could be something bigger. Crimes that don't seem connected but carried off the same way. A few people ending up dead. Most of the guys on the force just think it's random crime. But me and a couple other boys think there's a boss operating here and he's starting to expand. And you sent Hanley to try to work his way in? Hanley went way undercover. Staged a few crimes to take the credit for. Just simple robberies and stuff, and before long he had made some contacts. He was checking in a couple times a day. A couple weeks ago he said he was in some organization, that it looked like they were planning something. Said they were set up in some other cities as well. He didn't have any real hard intel yet, but he was sure he was onto something. Then he didn't call yesterday or today, and his phone won't track. I don't like it. That might explain the fires and the bomb. Most we can expect from forensics is that they find evidence that the fires were started the same way. But if they can't find anything more than that, we still won't have much to pin it on anyone in particular. Well, I'll keep my eyes open for sure. If you know, if worse comes to worse and someone did him in, are there places they would dump the body? Depends on if we're dealing with pros or not. If it's a mob type outfit, we might never find the body. Well, I got a pretty good sniffer. I can fly over the city and see if anything odd catches my attention. Like maybe the river. I'd appreciate that. That number I called you from? That's my cell. You find anything? Call me. Will do, Walter said, exiting the car and flying away. Walter flew over the city, secretly hoping not to find what he was looking for. A myriad of smells confronted him, and he sorted through them and discarded them one by one. Restaurants and backyard grills were especially tempting, but whatever appetite was stirred up was quickly dispelled by the aroma of a litter box well past time to be changed. Could probably hide a body in the cat lady's house and I'd never notice, he said to himself. He was over Walnut Hills thinking he might as well head home, since he was that close, when an unmistakable odor hit him. Natural gas. This wasn't someone just using a gas stove, but a gas leak. He followed the scent, and it seemed to come from a house on Hackberry Street. He landed at the front door and rang the doorbell. No answer. He opened the door and walked in, calling out as he came in the house, but nobody answered. Walking in the bedroom, he saw someone lying on the bed. "Hey, wake up, buddy," he said, shaking the man's shoulder. A man who looked somewhat familiar. He checked the photo Wilkins had given him. Yep, that was him, and he was dead as a doornail. Well, no wonder he didn't notice the gas leak. Wonder if it killed him, Walter said out loud to no one in particular. Then the realization hit him when he noticed that Hanley was already stiff. He'd been dead for a while, longer than if he had just fallen asleep when a gas leak started. He scooped Hanley's body up and was only 10 feet out the door when the explosion happened. The shockwave knocked out windows in the neighboring buildings, and the house was in flames in no time. Walter pulled his cell out of his pocket and dialed Wilkins. "Yeah, Walter, you got something?" "It ain't good. You still out?" "No, I'm back at the station. What's going on?" "Does Hanley live over in Walnut Hills on Hackberry?" "Yeah, why?" "Well, I got him, but he's been dead a while. House just blew up." "Come again?" He was lying in his bed, dead and already getting stiff, and the house blew up right after I left with his body. I'm headed there. I'll see you in a minute." Less than a minute later, Walter walked in the police station and turned Hanley's body over before following Wilkins to a private room to talk. "That your guy?" Walter asked when Wilkins sat down across from him. "Yeah, any idea how he died?" "Not in his house. He's already cold. He had some weird looking wounds. Skin looked burned in places." "Well, I guess we'll just wait for the medical examiner." "However it was done, it's pretty obvious. If I didn't get there when I did, he would have burned up pretty good in the explosion. If I hadn't smelled the gas..." "So it seems like he was onto something. Do you have any idea what group he was infiltrating?" "Nah, there have been some rumors, but nothing concrete. Seems like there's a mob-type outfit operating in town, but they've covered the tracks too well, and we don't have much to go on. Not like the TV shows where everyone knows who the mob boss is and half the cops are on the take." "Not quite. I've watched Gotham, too. It's nothing like that here. You see a string of crimes that seem connected, but we can't put it together. Not enough forensic evidence to nail more than some small operators. And they don't talk, at least not much. We got a good idea that things are organized, but it must be compartmentalized, and one guy doesn't know much about what the others are up to. Rumor going around it's a woman, though." "A woman?" "A couple crooks have mentioned a woman who might be calling the shots. We don't have any idea who. One thug said she's in her 40s and good looking, but that doesn't really narrow things down much. Think there's any way I can help?" "Just do what you're already doing and call me if you see anything." "Yeah, that doesn't seem like much." "No offense, but what is your background? Before you became, before you got like you are now." "I was a factory worker. Retired a few months ago." "Exactly. You can catch crooks, but any more than that is probably better handled by the police." "Hey, yeah, I see where you're going. Just seems I could maybe get some information out of someone." "How do you propose doing that? You don't have interrogation experience, and with your capabilities, things could get out of hand." "Yeah, that's a possibility." "Well, you give me a call when you find out what killed your guy, okay?" "Sure thing. I owe you one for finding him. Wish it could have turned out better, but thanks anyway. That was the least I could do. You need any more help, you know where to reach me. Not doing anything else." Well, I hope you enjoyed Chapter 8. If so, please like and subscribe. For information about my other work, you can check out the links in the description below. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.